Hello, I'm Mighty Slim, and in part 5 of our look at how to play section 43 by Country Joe and the Fish, we are going to attempt to do the last and final lead guitar solo by Barry Melton. Starts about 5 minutes and 17 seconds into the song. Please subscribe to my YouTube channel below, Mr. Mighty Slim. And now let's get started. We have links below to the other 4 parts that we did. Attempt being the operative word. I'm going to attempt to play the solo for you, and then we'll break down the licks for you. So here we go. And take 2. It's one of the best times I've played it. Anyway, so all right, so let's break down the licks for you. So we have we're going to play the now before I mention it, as I mentioned in the other videos, our high E string is tuned down to a D. Our low E string is tuned down to a D, although we don't use that in this solo. All the other strings are tuned normally. All right, so we're going to play. We're going to go. So that's double 12. So slide in the 12th fret on the high D string, and then hit it. So slide it in, and so you play that twice. 12 on the high D. So, and then we're gonna go. Then we're gonna go 10, 12, 10 on the high D, and then slide it into the 9 on the high D. So, and then 10, 9 on the high D. And then 10, 12, 9. So 10 on the B, 12 on the B, 9 on the high D, 10 on the high D, 12 on the high D, and then I'm going to bend it up. So, and then 9, 10, 9 on the high D, and then 10, 12, 10, 12 on the 10, 12 on the B, and 10, 12 on the high D. So, and then I'm going to go. So that's the 10, 12 hammer on pull off, and then to the 9. So, and then so 10, 12 hammer on pull off, and then to the 9th fret on the high D, and then 10 on the high D, 9 slide to the 7 on the high D, and then back to the 9 on the high D, 7 on the high D, 5 on the high D, and then I'm going to do this tremolo picking thing. So tremolo picking means you're going to scrub the string as fast as possible, and I'm going to go from the 5th fret, actually 7th fret of the B, 5th fret on the B, 7th fret, those are all tremolo picked, 7th fret on the G, 5th fret on the G, and then 4th fret by itself. So, right, that's what it is. Now I'm going to go. So, okay. So that's what I do. So I'm gonna show you this lick. So I'm gonna go 5, 4, 5, 4, pull off, 5, 4 pull off on the G, then 7 on the G, back to 4 on the G, and then repeat the lick again. So it's. But I'm going to do that tremolo pick style, so it's going to go. And the last note is not, the final note is not tremolo tremolo pick. So, and then I'm going to hit the low D string, and then I'm going to play the 7th fret on the G string 10 times. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. And I'm going to go. So that's sliding in the 12th fret on the high D. And then up and back, picked up and back, slow, and then picked down on the down position. So then 10 on the high D, 12 on the B, 10 twice on the high D, 12 on the high D, and then 10 on the high D, 12 on the B, 10 on the high D, 12 on the B, 10 on the B, 12 on the B, 10 on the high D, 12 on the high D, then 10 on the high D, 12 on the D, 10 on the high D, and then 12 on the B, 10 on the B. Now I'm going to go 12 on the B, 10 on the B, 11 on the G, and then 10, 12 on the B there. All right, so we have that's what it sounds like at normal pitch. Then I'm going to go so that's the 9 on the G to the 9 up and back on the G to 7 on the G, and then I'm going to slide 9 to 7 on the G. So and then open D string to the 7th fret on the G, and then the open D string again, and now I'm going to go 2 7s on the G, open D string, single 7 on the G, open D string, single 7 on the G, open D string, and then on the 7th fret of the G. So we have let's try that again. Let's try that whole thing there. So all right, now we have all right. Let me do that. So we have double 10 on the B string, 12 on the B string, and then 10, 12, 10 on the high E, or rather high D. So let's try that again. So and back to 10 on the high D. So now 12 on the B string, 10 on the high D, 12 on the B string. Then I'm going to hammer 10, 12 on the B. Then 10, 12, 10 on the high D, 12 on the B, and then 10 on the high D, 12 on the B, and then I'm going to slide in. So that's 10, 12 slide on the B, and then pick it again, and then bend up and back. So let's do that whole thing for you. Hopefully I'll get the hammer on in there. So it goes like this. And you almost hear him go. Not fully coming back to the 12 rested spot. Now we have all right, so what was that? We had the 5th fret to the 4th fret on the A, to 4 on the D, 4, 5, 4 on the D. So so 5 to 7, and then pick the 7 twice. So, and now we're going to slide from 7 to 9, and pick the 9 twice, and then 7 on the, this is all on the D string, back to the 7 on the D string, and then slide 9, 9 to the 10 twice, double 10 there, and then, so then we hit the 9, then we have, so after we had, let's do the whole thing for you. I got lost for a second there. Right, and then we have, so that's 9 on the 9 on the D, 10, 12 slide, the double 12 at the on the D string, and then 10, 12. So let's try that again. So the whole thing goes. Woo! And there you have it. It took me a while to get that one down. So anyway, please subscribe to my YouTube channel below, Mr. Mighty Slim. I'll leave a comment. Give me a like that you enjoyed it and found it to be helpful. And we're going to do one more final video, and that's going to be the rhythm guitar parts that happen. Obviously not with distortion. So anyway, we'll see y'all when the future gets here. Mighty Slim, over and out.